Hi there, this is Laura Brandenburg from Bridging the Gap. And today I want to talk about a topic really close to my heart. And it's about the self-doubt and the self-criticism and the diminishing of our own value that I see in our profession as business analysts. And then we kind of don't appreciate ourselves, and then we get really, really upset when other people don't appreciate us. And this happens because we are analyzers, and we can analyze our own value until we can't actually see the good, the positive change, all the great work that we do. And today's video was actually prompted by a question from one of our readers. So I'm going to read that just to jump in here, and then I'm going to talk about the answer that I have to this person's question. So I've been a BA for 6 years now, and I still don't consider myself as a BA. Why? Well, there's a reason for this, and it's based on my personality. You see, I'm one of those people that always looks at just how much more there is to learn, and because of that sea of knowledge is so vast, I consider it to mean that I don't necessarily know very much at all. I have seen people come, do something once, promote themselves as an expert, get promoted, and then move on. This is something that I fundamentally cannot do, no matter how much I may want to be able to do so. Taking the above into account, my question is not about learning to be a BA. It is about being able to recognize when you are a BA. So without further ado, my question is as follows. Are there 3 to 5 universal things that you believe if someone can identify these things in their day-to-day activity, then regardless of how they may feel about their skills, they are a BA? Now, I can answer this question, the direct part of the question, head on, and I will. I will talk about the 3 things that I think you need to be able to check off to say that you are a business analyst. But that's really not the fundamental challenge here, and this question comes up in a variety of different ways from all kinds of people in our community. And that fundamental challenge is that we're looking outside of ourselves for somebody else to say, hey, you are a business analyst. You are good enough or skilled enough or experienced enough to be a business analyst. And it just doesn't happen that way. Yes, sometimes like there will be a point where someone will give you the job title of business analyst, and then you'll be like, okay, I guess I've arrived, right? Like that will happen. But then you'll go back to work the next day and you'll be like, but wait, am I really enough? Until you take that inside and say, yes, I'm a business analyst, it really doesn't matter what I or anybody else tells you about your skills. Okay, and that's what I think drives a lot of the certifications in our profession. It drives this learning more in our profession. It's why at Bridging the Gap, all of our training comes with a doing component. So you learn and you do, because the confidence comes from the doing and from getting that feedback, a bit of external feedback from an instructor that says, yes, you did business analysis work. You did good quality business analysis work that passes the standards for this particular program, right? But and that is about the certificate of completion. It is about the finishing of the course, but it's more about that confidence building that I think we need so much in our profession. We need more BAs to be more confident, because when you're more confident, you show up more fully. You ask the tougher questions. You show up as a leader on your project instead of a kind of a reactor, and you are going to be the one leading positive change in your organization. So the more confident we can make you, the better your projects are going to be, the better your organization is going to be overall. It's really, really important to be able to say, yes, I'm a business analyst. So what would those 3 things be? For me, discover requirements, analyze requirements, and create positive change. Pretty simple. Simple but not simple, right? And this is what I think creates this, like, I never know enough. Because discovering requirements, there's like so much to know. You're always going to get better at discovering requirements. So interviews, observations, modeling sessions, brainstorming sessions, like these are all different techniques that we use to discover the requirements. The question is, can you sit down with one stakeholder and ask some questions and figure out a better way of doing things? Can you figure out what they really want, what they really need? Then yes, you've met that criteria for being a business analyst. Will you always be able to learn new techniques, new ways to handle new stakeholders with more finesse, more challenging situations, and how to deal with them with ease and grace? For sure. You'll always be improving in this area. I'm always improving in this area. Every senior business analyst who really cares about their work is improving in how well they can deal with stakeholders and discover requirements. But if you can sit down with one stakeholder and figure things out, then check. Okay, analyze. This is when you take what you learned and you put it into some sort of a model and put some structure around it so that you can discover gaps, so that you can go back and do more discovery. So this might be a business requirements document, a workflow diagram, a use case, a business process model, an entity relationship diagram. These are all examples, right? The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And this is where we get tripped up, because how can we ever know whatever there is to know? And you can't. There's always going to be more tools to add to your BA toolbox. The important thing is that you have a toolbox, a set of techniques that you feel confident in and that help you figure out the requirements for a project, and then check off that box and say, yes, I'm a business analyst. Yes, there will always be a new tool to learn. I am still learning tools. I'm still even bringing new tools into our training programs. It's not about ever being done or ever learning enough. It's about learning, about saying, yes, I'm a business analyst because I can do these things, okay? And creating positive change. Now, this is the one that trips a lot of us up, because we might be able to have the conversations, might be able to analyze the requirements. Are we really creating positive change in our organizations? Are we really seeing through that change to the next step? Because a lot of times this is where we have this weird, not weird, but just we step back to step forward as business analysts, because we're not the project manager. Unless we are, then we're actually driving forward that change. We're not stepping back at that point. But it might be things like facilitating UAT, or being a sounding board as your developers figure out the implementation solution, or walking through the new process with your stakeholders as the technology or as the shifts happen, right? So you are less on the driving and more on the facilitating and supporting in this stage. But it's so important, because if we're not creating positive change, all the discovery we've done, all the requirements we've written don't really have the impact that we want to have. So those are the three things. Have you done these on a project in the past? You are a business analyst. Can you do these on a project now? You are a business analyst. Okay, and I want you to just take a moment if you feel, but, or self-doubt or self-criticism or I'm not enoughness. I'm a business analyst. Say, this is the face of a business analyst, not me. I know I'm a business analyst, you. So I want you to point at your face. I am a business analyst, yes. Okay, and write it down if you have to every day. Say it out loud in the car. I give you permission to start calling yourself a business analyst today, and not to let these other stories about other people who've done more or learned more or have more expertise than you hold you back. Because the better that you can show up, the more confident you can be in your skills, the better the work that you're going to be able to do, the more job opportunities that will come to you, and the better the impact, the bigger the impact that you're going to have in your organization. And so that's my challenge to you. Thank you for this question. Thank you for being a business analyst, and we are here for you at Bridging the Gap to take your skills to the next level. As always, Laura Brandenburg, and I wish you the absolute best success as a business analyst.